If you're tired of creating proposals from scratch, or potentially using the last proposal that you sent out to rework and send to your next client, this video is for you. I'm going to dive right into the content library and how you can use content blocks within your proposal templates to drastically reduce the time it takes to send out proposals, getting them out quicker, leaving you more time to focus on other activities. So let's jump right in. Okay, so we're starting off here in the dashboard, and basically where the content library lives is under the Documents tab on the left-hand side here. You can click that to show My Documents templates, and the third one down, Content Library. So within the content library sit all of your pieces of content that can be pulled into proposals, quotes, documents in general, either prior to sending, or you can pull them into templates as well. So the way that this looks is a content library item uses the same native builder as a proposal, as a quote. It's basically the same, exactly the same interface here. Some things are missing. Obviously, you can't send a content library item itself. You can add roles to the item, and you can add backgrounds, etc. You can also add all of these blocks and fillable fields, but you can't send this item in and of itself. It needs to be added to a document basically before sending. So you can see it's tagged with content library up the top here, and yeah, that's basically how that works. So we're going to jump over to the template now. I'm just going to jump into a template, and we use the software development proposal template to sort of showcase how it works here. So we've got this template here. You can see that the template is a pretty stock standard template. This is one of the standard templates from PandaDoc. And what I've done here is I've just tidied up things a little bit, added in a few bits and pieces. Specifically at the top here though, I've added in two elements here that use the content library. So the first one is this auto-population of the content library item. So it's populating by client country. This is a very, very useful use case. Basically, if you're pulling together proposal templates and you sell to, for example, say a couple of different countries, US and UK, then what you can have is in your CRM, you'll generally, it will automatically specify, or otherwise you'd specify in there the country that you're sending this to in a field, and you can pull that field across or otherwise reference it in this item here in a rule, and it can pull together a section, or pull from the content library a section relevant to that particular country. So where I see this used a lot is if you've got an introduction, the showcase, or the example I'm showcasing here is basically the introduction that's specific to the UK and the introduction that's specific to Australia. So what I've gone ahead and done here is added, if the country equals UK, then add intro 1. If it equals Australia, add intro 2. So those are the rules. It's pretty straightforward in terms of the way that works. It can get fairly complicated though if you have things like client industries, and you might have, say, 10 different client industries. You could have a fairly complex rule set here, or comprehensive rule set, I should say, that says that, if it equals this, do this. And then at the end, if it doesn't equal any of those things, then add a different type of intro or whatever. If it was industry based, you could do things like have a client testimonials that are based on that specific industry. That's a particularly popular use case. Or potentially you might want to add in a pricing table with specific pricing, because you don't have your CRM connected directly to PandaDoc. If you just use PandaDoc itself, you might want to have the pricing table basically just populate with fixed-based pricing based on that client country that you're sending to, or the currency that is detailed in your account. So you can see there are a lot of use cases for the content library, and yeah, I'm just going to go through these two to sort of showcase how it works and how you can go about adding things to and from the content library, that kind of stuff. So as I said, this first one is a rule-based one. It's basically picking up on those two intros, and it will populate them through based on the client country when we use this template to create a document. So that's sort of how that works, and I'll show you that in a moment. The other one here is a pre-selected content section. And this is just 3 different testimonials, client testimonial 1, 2, 3, and they're just pre-selected, and they've been, I'm actually going to mark it as required for the salesperson to select the one that's most appropriate, or the ones that are most appropriate for this particular document when it gets sent out. So that's basically how that works. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and use the template. We'll create a document and you'll see how it basically flows through. If we add the recipient, I'm just going to add myself in here and I'm going to edit the contact and change the country to UK. I'm going to just say save, and you can do this after the fact as well. This is just in the role-based section. And we'll just go, I'll just add myself there as well. We'll just go ahead and click continue. You'll be able to see in a moment once this pops up. It's populated through these variable fields, but importantly, it's pulled in that client country UK content section. So you can see here, I've just marked, made in bold UK business as a part of this. It's still editable, by the way. You don't have to, it's not like a locked section. It's just pulling this in so you don't have to go ahead and find this in the library and pull it in yourself. In this section here, so now that we're in the document, prior to sending, we can just go ahead and go, yeah, I want to add these 2 testimonials and add these 2 items like this. So you can see they're populating at the moment like this. If these were a little better designed, I'd have them all in one block, maybe using a table or something like that in order to make sure that they are aligned correctly. And I'll just go ahead and move them around and then resize them so that they sort of fit this space. Hopefully this showcases you exactly what is possible here. So that's basically that. We'll just move this up. You can see it all fits on the same page there. That's how the content library works. So what you can also do is, in terms of adding and removing things from the content library, we'll just go into the software proposal again. And I'll show you how we go ahead and add sections to the library. So say you'd created out something, maybe a page. This executive summary page is probably a good example. In order to add this to the content library, it's really simple. You basically go up to the right hand side here and you just go ahead and click add to content library. Give it a name, something like this, and then go ahead and add it, and you can add this into our already created folder software demo proposal sections. So what this means is on the template level, if you wanted to pull in an executive summary because it got lost or because you made significant amendments and you just wanted to go back to how it was previously, you can go ahead and add that in, or the salesperson could go ahead and add that in prior to sending and just make the amendments again, delete the other page. There are a lot of options there. You can add blocks, individual blocks to the library. You can add whole pages to the library. So that is an overview of the content library. We'll have a quick look here. You can see the content library items all sit within this section, which we've gone over. And you can also see here, that one was just added in. If there's anything else on the content library you'd like to know, please don't hesitate to drop a comment. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Chat soon.